Hey everybody, it's JJamJim, and welcome back to City Skylines, our vanilla tutorial Let's Play series. And here we are, taking a look at our brand new ferries that we put in last time, and our really beautiful skyline. It looks great from this perspective. This angle, I don't know, it just looks really cool. The depth is really awesome. You can just, there's that layer of fog between our residential buildings up front here and sort of the buildings in the back, and the way the sun angle looks quite beautiful. I think it just looks so vast when you kind of come down a little bit lower and look at it from this way. Like those power plants feel so far away back there. This game is very cool, and I think we actually did a pretty nice job with that skyline, keeping the taller buildings over there and kind of having a little bit of that arc, as it goes up to the left, that top tower, and then kind of back down to the right past the observation tower and all those things. I think that looks quite nice. I think we did a nice job there. So anyway, here we are. We need to get to our next milestone, 60,000. It's quite a bit of population, but I think what we'll do is sort of create some suburbs out here. Using some connecting here, we might end up making this into a 4-way interchange. Or perhaps we just make this into a 4-way and then have it come in that way and keep this, preserve this. I'm not sure yet. We can also bring this through. But yeah, I was thinking this road would be a nice avenue. And then have another, connecting point over here. Maybe just, building up in the hills a little bit. It's quite steep, but it might actually look kind of cool to do a little bit of that. Maybe we don't, do a ton of terraforming over here. But once we get to that 60,000 milestone, we've been talking about for quite a few episodes now, like, what do we do with that? And I think the answer is, as some of you may have noticed, I just posted last week, it'd be last week at this point, the first of several tutorial videos, like strictly tutorial videos. I started this playthrough a while ago with the intent of just showing you different little bits and pieces about the city, but there's so much to cover, and I never wanted to really go all the way in depth. While I wanted to continue building and progressing and moving forward, so I didn't want to take too many tangents talking about certain things, right? We kind of did a little bit of industries, we did a little bit of like farming and farmlands, but we didn't talk about very specific things. There's, we touched on traffic certainly, but I kind of wanted to make an attempt to create some tutorial videos. So in sort of conjunction with that, what I'm thinking is when we hit that 60,000 mark, and that was at the point where we talked about introducing mods into the game, into this map, and seeing how the mods would affect it and things we could change around and all that stuff. So what I was thinking we could do is when we hit that point, we'll then take a break and start to use this city as the tutorial city on certain things, like terraforming, like the budget panel, different things like that. Really, I'm also open to suggestions on things that you would like to see. Now, there are other videos, there's content out there discussing some of these things, but a lot of it isn't, there's much of it that isn't all the way up to date. I would also be happy to go into specific DLC content. I'm sort of interested in what you want, because I do get asked quite frequently about certain things, and that's why I made the first one. I wanted to just do a basic city start, and a lot of you seem to really like that and want to see kind of like how I do things or my approach to things. And I think while I have touched on some of that here, perhaps making them very specific videos, and they might not be very long, some might be 5 or 10 minutes, some might be 20, but just kind of going in depth and maybe answering some of the questions that you all have. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you about that, but I think we might use this as sort of our guinea pig city. So we might take a quick break from, moving forward with this city, and I'll show you how to work some mods, my top mods that I consider to be really good ones to have, different things like that. And then once some of those tutorial videos are through, we can come back and revisit the city, or we can really start a new one. So I'm kind of interested to what you all think of that. So let me know in the comments below. But for now, I think I'd like to try and work as hard as we can to get to that 60,000 mark. Now, we're pretty close, and I think we could get there fairly soon. But let's get to work here. So I think what we're gonna want to do is, boy, this is pretty steep. And we kind of ran into this little hill here. And that's a little steep for my liking to go up. So I'm wondering actually if we could just take this brush and just start to kind of soften it. See, because as the lines obviously get a little further apart, that's creating a much more gradual slope. So we could just sort of, maybe even just sort of soften a lot of this. And get, I'm gonna pause real quick, and we'll get some of this all ironed out, so to speak. But just kind of just going along the contours, so you can, you know, stretching it a little bit, making it all a little more, and that will help with some of the slopes too, by just doing this, kind of evening out the playing field. A little bit. Takes a little bit of soil. Doesn't cost a ton of money. We have plenty of money right now. Even though our budget looks awful, but that's a little bit of a quirk with the industries, so I'm not too concerned about it. We'll make it up in another area. Kind of want to spend too much time doing this, but generally speaking, that is a lot more clean. Don't you think? So now, I really don't want to make this an industrial road. So maybe after this point, we can just go straight out and bring this up. Now that is steep, but it's at least a nice gradual slope. Perhaps before we do that, though, we should come over here and make this a four-way interchange. Because we also have the rail right here, too. So let me pause the game. We're going to destroy this. And I think, for sake of ease, I might just put this in here, because this is not going to be super heavy with traffic. So let's just pop one of these in here. And rotate that. Actually, I can pop it right there. I guess that's gonna be where it goes. Can you just... Yep, that'll work. Cool. Oh boy. I'm in our... So, over on Twitch, we've been streaming a lot of... We've been doing a Cape Town inspired build, which is really cool. But it's left-hand drive, which I have never done a map left-hand drive. In all the hours I've played Skylines, I've never even just tried it, because I am in the United States, and I drive on the right-hand side of the road, so it's just easier, but I wanted to do it as a challenge. So now kind of coming back to right-hand drive after being away from this these videos for like a little over a week now. I'm sort of like, oh yeah, wait, what? It looks a bit confusing. Excuse me. There we go. So yeah, it's up on a slope, but it's not... Yeah, it's certainly not the best thing, but it will do. So, but what I think is, I'm just going to end this as the 2-lane avenue. So I'm going to shrink these down to 2 lanes. Same with right there, because these are coming on. As they're merging, it'll turn into 3, and as they're exiting, it'll turn into 2, and then they're merging. So let's do that. I guess we'll just go up and over the rail here. I could sink the rail too. But I think for the sake of just moving forward, we can always change this later. Let's go up 3, 6, 9 to 12. We'll go to there. And go 9 right there. Is that too low? See that? No, see, it needs to stay at 12. 9 can get you over, technically, but 12 is much better. Much cleaner. So I'm going to end this right about there. Same deal over here. Oh, slope too steep, eh? Really? No, I was going to say, that doesn't seem right. And like that, and then we'll go down. A little more. Okay. Then, oh boy, this is very steep. I'm not sure how this is going to look. But, for the sake of science, let's give it a shot. So, kind of flat. I'm going to put it right about in the center there of those lines. And maybe what we'll do is sort of a kind of almost like a switchback type of feel to it. And then this is just going to cut right through and connect up. So, let's see. That's a very big curve, but I wonder if we can do it in one fell swoop. If we just eyeball it. I think we can. Sure enough, we can. There. Okay? So then what I'm going to do right here is, now that that's sort of in the center of the two of these, I should be able to just go out and... Oh, it is much deeper, isn't it? I see. So these need to actually stay up. Okay. Alright. Alright, game. I'll play your game. Yeah, that doesn't look best. But let's see if that will work. Oh boy, that is bad. That is bad. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is grab a slope, and we're just gonna sit on that, and we'll see where we can go with that road. But we gotta pick our battles here, because otherwise it's just gonna look real terrible here. So let's go like this, and we'll go down to flat. It's still quite a slope, but it's gonna be okay. Well, those aren't even now. It's a bit frustrating. Well, let's just see how that plays out. So we'll go like that. Just build a little bit. That and like that. There. And then we'll send these going the other direction. Okay. Now we do have this crazy slope here. So what I might do is, I wonder if we can just kind of... It's too steep. It's gonna bridge that. Ooh. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Well, let's go maybe about this height. And we'll kind of build our way up a bit. So we can just grab that. Slope up. As gentle as humanly possible. So that's a lot better. Yes, kind of. But I think we can make it better than that. Much better. Cool. Okay. It's weird. It's a little wonky, but it is something that we can fix in the future. Because it doesn't hurt to do some things, you know, a little awkwardly that we can always try to improve later, right? Because you know, part of this series obviously is that I want to show you how you can take stuff away or change things, you know, moving forward, going later. You know, like don't think it's the only option, especially if you're interested in using mods. That's certainly something you can change later. Now, we could do this better in vanilla. I'm not saying that we could not make this more, you know, look better in vanilla. We have done that. We've done that in many areas where we've made things look great. I think this downtown for vanilla is fantastic. But there is a lot of flexibility using some mods. But you know, that's down the road. We'll show you that in the future. So I think, yeah, up here it's just gonna be a sprawling suburban, like, wonderland. That's kind of how I'm seeing this. We might need to work with the switchbacks, but the way I see it is out here on the main strip is sort of our, you know, we can put some commercial along here, and then there's just like the roads. And I'll show you kind of how I'm thinking about making these. So we'll go up, and then let's do like a curve. Let's do like a 5 by 5. And then like back down. And make these kind of interesting, like almost like pin, like sort of, it's like almost like these little paperclip shape things. But we'll go off of each other as we do it. So I'll show you what I mean. So we'll go, let's see, 10 by 10. We'll go straight to about there. Actually, let's go another 5. 5. And we'll do the same thing back down. And we're just sort of creating these, like, I don't even know what this really is, but it just sort of, when I was thinking about this area before the video, this is sort of what I was thinking about. I don't really know why, but I kind of like it. Maybe this just ends like that. And then we can, like, even just start all over. Doing another one. Or maybe it's even angled. If it was angled out like this, so like 20. Here's the thing. Remember, like we've talked about, exploratory building. Exploratory building. I don't even know what these shapes are. But I think it's kind of, I mean, it's certainly interesting. We could do the same thing on the other side as well. Just this giant sort of sprawl here. What if this just goes all the way? Actually, here, you know what we could do? What if we just did this center one all the way out? And then did our little trick here. Give me the paperclip hills. And it comes back to about there. And we just sort of create a little curve to bring it right back to there. Okay. When in doubt, or when you think you're getting boring, add a curve. Let's go out. Now what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to blend this just a bit. Because I think this could use a little love. Yeah. Kind of the issues we're running into. Just smooth it out. There you go. Give the side of the hill a little facelift. Yeah, see how much nicer that looks? Now, hopefully, we shouldn't have too much of a thing here, but what if we go out 10, 10, and we go straight. And they don't have to be even. In fact, I think it's more fun if they're not even. Goes down. And back up. But we do something like this. Boom. So we have another way to get in there. So the traffic just, you know, is you're not having to loop very far when you're doing it. Go down. It's about there. Do another one. Do I know what we're building here? Not really. But I think it's kind of cool. I don't quite know why it's cool or why it's interesting, but it's this almost like a heating coil type of a design. It's really quite fun. And I don't know. It's certainly interesting, that's for sure. I can't say that I've ever built anything quite like this before. Maybe, yeah, go down like that. There you go. And I'm okay actually leaving some gaps between it. Just for like some trees and some privacy, you know, from some of the homes. Because they are going to be like back to back like this. So some of them won't have yards, but then, you know, this can be like some support sort of park area. Yeah, it's really strange. It's very, very strange indeed. But I like it. I think I'm going to do one more. And go this. It's kind of cool because we're sort of working with the contour of the with the rail there. Yeah. Straight in there? Sure, why not? Keep expanding on that too. It's like its own little neighborhood up in the hills. I think that's going to look quite smashing when it's kind of all said and done. Okay, so let's make sure this area is watered. And I can just bring this pipe up along here. Sort of just little bits like that. It's not quite the overlap, but it's okay. They're underground, mostly invisible. Really, the only reason we're doing this is just, you know, to save money, but money is not too much of a concern at this point. And I'm just gonna link those. More there. Cool. And we may as well just finish this off, because we might end up putting something in here that's gonna just demand water. There we go. Cover the earth. Excellent. Power. How are we doing on power? We're gonna need more of it soon. I imagine. I don't know if we're gonna get. Yeah, I think we'll be okay with the power over here. We can always run it from here and connect these lines. I'll just run it from there. There. Now this is connected to the grid. There we are. Cool. So you're going to have to drive past this nasty recycling center over here, but that's, you know, such is life. I'm going to put another incinerator there. Recycling center on that side, because now it's going to have to supply kind of both sides of this. Yeah. We can always finish this off as well. But I like it. I think we're going to just put a pin right here. I know it's just sort of a lot of road building and mostly talking to me on this end, but it was important stuff, and I think it'll be good. I think next time we actually might hit that 60,000 pretty quickly, and then we can move forward. But I'm really interested to hear what you all think. So do let me know in the comments section. If you're not part of our Discord, you can certainly join our Discord. We have a City Skylines channel over there, where people post different pics and things. And if you're not following on Twitch, head over there as well and ask questions. I'm always available, and we're on 5 days a week. So yeah, but everybody, thank you so much for watching. I do muchly appreciate it, and I look forward to creating more Skylines content for you guys in the future. And yeah, let me know in the comment section what you think, and I'll see you in the next episode in City Skylines. All right, everybody, bye for now.